Hello everyone, today we will start with some more questions of maxima minima word problem. So my question is that we have to show that the semi-vertical angle of a cone of maximum volume and of given slant height is equal to tan inverse root 2. Okay, now here three things are main. First is semi-vertical angle, second is we have to maximize the volume, and third is the slant height is given to us, right? So first of all, understand what is semi-vertical angle. Vertical angle of the cone is this whole angle made on the tip, and semi-vertical will be if I draw this axis, then this half angle will be known as my semi-vertical angle. Okay, so let the slant height be L, which is given to us in this case. So we will consider L as constant. L will be treated as constant. And semi-vertical angle be alpha. Then volume of the cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h, where r stands for the radius and h stands for the height of the cone that we are considering. Now r and h both are variable. We will try to write it into a one single variable, and since slant height is known to us, so what is my target? I will try to write r as well as h in terms of L. Okay, and if possible alpha as well, because ultimately I have to prove that my semi-vertical angle, that is alpha, is coming out to be this. So I am trying to bring my alpha in the picture. Okay, so how we can convert r and h in terms of L or alpha? Let us consider this right angle triangle AOC. Now in right angle triangle AOC, AO stands for your height, OC is radius, and AC is your L, and alpha is the semi-vertical angle. So if I apply my Trigo ratio in this right angle triangle AOC, what do I get? I'll get AO divided by L, that is B by H, is equal to cos of alpha, and same way OC by L, which means perpendicular by hypotenuse, is equal to sin alpha. So AO is nothing but your H. That means value of H is coming out to be L cos alpha, and similarly the value of R is coming out to be L sin alpha. Now replace H and R here in the equation. So everything now is in terms of L or alpha. So since we have to maximize the volume, so we will start applying our second order derivative test on the volume. So how we can do that? Now volume is differentiated with respect to alpha because alpha is the only variable involved, L is constant. So what we are going to get? This will be 1 by 3 pi L cube. Apply your product rule. So this will become sin square alpha minus sin alpha plus cos alpha. Differentiate sin square alpha, that will give you 2 sin alpha cos alpha. So after simplification, this is what we are getting. Now put it equal to 0 and simplify the equation. Out of this equation, we can clearly see I can take sin alpha common from both the terms, right? So take sin alpha common. Since 1 by 3 pi L cube was constant, so we have ignored it, right? Now if sin alpha into this whole bracket is equal to 0, then there are two possibilities. Sin alpha is equal to 0, which cannot be possible, because if sin alpha is 0, that means it is equal to sin of 0, alpha is equal to 0, but alpha 0 is not possible as this represent our semi-vertical angle, and if alpha will be 0, we will not be able to construct our cone. So that is why we are going to reject sin alpha is equal to 0. So the only possibility left is that the second equation is equal to 0, which in this case is minus sin square alpha plus 2 cos square alpha is equal to 0. Simplify it, what we are getting? We are getting that tan square alpha is coming out to be 2. That means tan of alpha is root 2. Since alpha is right now acute angle, that's why we are taking only the positive value. Now what we can do with the help of tan alpha? With the help of tan alpha, we can find the value of cos of alpha. This is P by B. So by applying B by H, the value is coming out to 1 by root 3. Now to test whether the volume is maximum or minimum, we need second order derivative. How can we get that? By differentiating this again with respect to alpha. So differentiate it. What do we get? Minus of 3 sine square alpha, and derivative of sine alpha is cos alpha, which is this. And here you apply your product rule. So the terms that you are going to get will be these two. Now if in the question, as per question, we should get maximum volume. So maximum volume will be when this whole thing is coming out to be less than 0. So let us try to show that whether this is coming out to be less than 0 or not. Okay, so we will start with this equation itself. Now if I consider the second order derivative, what I have done here is, since I am having the value of 10 alpha, so I am trying to get my tens. How I can do that? I have multiplied and divided the second order derivative with cos cube alpha. Multiplied and divided the whole second order with cos cube alpha. How it is going to help me? Now you can see in the first term, 1 cos alpha will get cancelled, and you will be left with sine square alpha divided by cos square alpha, which will give you tan square alpha. Here this whole cube will get cancelled, so only 2 is left. Similarly here 1 cos alpha will get cancelled, and you will have sine square alpha divided by cos square alpha, which in this case is tan square alpha. Right? Simplify it. This is what you are getting. Now we have both the values. We know tan alpha is root 2 and cos alpha was 1 by root 3. So put both the values and you can check that your sign is coming out to be finally as less than 0. That means your volume is maximum at this particular point. Now let us begin with miscellaneous exercise questions. The first question which I am taking is, you have to show that the function f of x is equal to log x divided by x has maximum value at x is equal to e. Okay. So again, if I have to maximize this value, I have to apply my second order derivative test on this. So let us start with this. What we will do, first take the first order derivative. I have applied here product rule. I have taken this term as this given function as log x into 1 upon x and apply your product rule on both the terms. So after simplifying this, you are getting 1 by x square 1 minus log of x. Now since it is a second derivative test, so we will differentiate this again. Again differentiate it by applying your product rule on 1 by x square and 1 minus log x. Apply it here, and if you will simplify, this is what you are getting. You can simplify it further also. Also, the third step will be to put first derivative as 0. If I'll put first derivative as 0, I am getting 1 by x square 1 minus log x is equal to 0. This will implies 1 minus log x is equal to 0, because for log x, the values of x, since x is in the domain of log, so it will take all the values which are greater than 0. So that's why in the product equal to 0, we are ignoring 1 upon x square. Okay, so the only term which could be 0 is 1 minus log x. That simply means that log x is equal to 1. Now if you want to compare both of them and find the value of x, that is possible only when 1 is equal to log of e. So I have replaced 1 with log e. Compare both the sides, you are getting the value of x as e. Okay, log e is equal to 1. Now what will be the maximum value? Maximum value, if you want to check that whether it is maximum or minimum, what we are going to do, we will put x is equal to e in our second order derivative. So let us put it here. So x cube will give you e to the power cube 1 plus 2 1 minus log of e. This is what we are going to get. Now if we will simplify this, here you can clearly see we are getting, because log e is 1, so 1 minus 1 is going to be 0, right? So the only thing we are left with is minus 1 upon e cube, which being negative is less than 0. So the value will be maximum at x is equal to 3 for this particular given function. Let us take another question from miscellaneous exercise. The question is, the two equal sides of isosceles triangle with fixed base. Fixed base here means the base whatever we are going to take will be constant. So B is constant, are decreasing at the rate of 3 centimeter per second, right? So base, these equal sides are decreasing at the rate of 3 centimeter per second. Okay, how fast is the area decreasing when the two equal sides are equal to base? So let us try to compile all the information given to us. First information is that my base is b, which is constant because it is fixed. Second, the two equal sides. Let us assume these two equal sides as x. Then the rate of decrease of these two sides with respect to time, because we are taking it centimeter per second. So rate of decrease of these two sides with respect to time. That means if I have taken side as x, then dx by dt is decrease means minus of 3 centimeter per second. This is given to us. Then based upon this, we want to find how fast the area is decreasing. Area of what? Isosceles triangle. Okay. And fast means with respect to time. So dA by dt, you have to find where the two sides are equal to the base. Sides are equal to base means x is equal to base b. Okay. The condition that we are taking is at x is equal to b, my area is what, the decrease in the area I have to basically find. Okay. So this question is first of all based upon your rate of measure, right? So let us try to do this question. As I have already assumed AB and EC in triangle ABC as my x. So these are x and this is B. Let me draw one perpendicular or altitude. Now we know that the altitude as well as the median for isosceles triangle is same. That means D will be the point where we are getting right angle, as well as D will be the midpoint of BC. Means in this particular case, BD will be equal to DC because ABC is an isosceles triangle. That is the reason. Okay. So let us start with these facts and try to solve our question. Since this whole thing was B, so of course BD and DC both will be B by 2 and B by 2. Now if I apply my Pythagoras theorem in right angle triangle ABD, apply your Pythagoras theorem in right angle triangle ABD, what will be the value of AD? AD will be AB square minus BD square. This is what I have done, and by using this the AD is coming out to be root of 4x square minus b square divided by 2, which is the height of this triangle. Now since I have to find rate of decrease in area, so first I need area of this triangle. So as per formula, area is equal to half base into height. Here base is BC and height I am taking as AD. So substitute all the value. BC is equal to B and AD I have already found, right? So after solving, I am getting my A as this, B by 4 under root 4x square minus b square. So differentiate this whole equation with respect to P. Now when you will differentiate, B will be treated as constant. So root derivative is going to be 1 upon 2 root of 4x minus b square. What is the derivative of 4x square? That will be 8x into derivative of x with respect to t, that is dx by dt. And already in the question it is given to us that dx by dt is minus of 3. So substitute the value of dx by dt as minus 3 here. So my dA by dt is finally coming out to be this, b square divided by root of 4x square minus b square. Now we have to find this rate of change whenever x is equal to, it is given to us that what will be the decrease when two sides are equal to base. So we want to find this rate of change in area when x is equal to b. So all I have to do is substitute my x is equal to b in dA by dt. So replace x with b everywhere, and if you are going to solve it, your answer is coming out to be minus of root 3 b centimeter square per second. And since it is negative, that means my area is decreasing at the rate of root 3 b. Now let me take another question. This is one of the important question, and in books you will find that they have done it in some different manner. I am applying simple algebraic equations here. Okay, the question is you have to find the maximum area of isosceles triangle that is inscribed within this ellipse. Okay, with vertex at one end of the major axis, right? So this is the kind of figure we are going to get here. This is your ellipse and isosceles triangle. AB is equal to AC, and one of the vertex A is on the one end of the major axis. So if this is my major axis, OA is going to be A and OB is equal to small b. Okay, so I have assumed any point B here where my second vertex is lying of the triangle as x comma y. If this is x comma y, so it is clearly understood that my OD will be equal to x and DB, this height, is equal to y. Okay, now let us try to do this question. Point number 1 is AD is perpendicular to BD. So being an isosceles triangle, as we have discussed in the previous question as well, this perpendicular, this altitude will be the median as well. That means BD will be equal to DC. Okay, so this what I have taken, BD is equal to DC. This is one thing. Now since we have to maximize the area, let us try to get the equation of area of this isosceles triangle. Now by our basic formula, area of any triangle is equal to half base into height. So here let me assume my base as BC. If BC is the base, then height will be AD. Okay, so formula will be half BC into AD. So now my target is to find BC as well as AD. Let us see how we can do that. Now just now we have said that BD is equal to y, right? And DC is also going to be y because D is the midpoint. So BC will be equal to 2y. What about AD? Whole OA is equal to A, and this much portion OD is equal to x. So value of AD is going to be A minus x. So this becomes my area. Now since x and y both are variables, so I will try to convert them into a one single variable. How I can do that? Take the help of equation of ellipse and try to write either y or x in terms of the other. So here what I have done, I have written y in terms of x by simplifying my equation of ellipse. The value of y is coming out to be b by a root of a square minus x square. Substitute it here in this equation. So my area is coming out to be b by a root a square minus x square, a minus x. Now just to remove this root, I have squared both sides. So I will get a square is equal to b square by a square, this square root gone, and a minus x whole square. Assume your a square as some other variable. In this case I have assumed is as capital T. This is b square by a square. Now this if I open, I can write it as a minus x, a plus x, and this a minus x ka whole square as it is. Why I did so? So that I can combine these two terms. So this will become a minus x whole cube, a plus x. Now this is the equation on which I am going to apply my second order derivative test. So for applying second order derivative test, what are the things that are needed? I need first order derivative of t, then second order derivative of t, and I will put dt as x is the only variable. So dt by x as equal to 0 to get the values of x. So let us start with this procedure. Now step number 1 is, this is t equation. So I am going to differentiate it with respect to x by applying my product rule on these two expressions. So after applying product rule and taking my a minus x square common, this is the final value of dt by dx I am getting. My dt by dx is coming out to be this thing, b square by a square, a minus x whole square, and inside I am having minus 2a minus 4x. Now put it equal to 0 to get the values of x and simplify it. When you will simplify, two equations are coming. A minus x is equal to 0 and minus 2a minus 4x is equal to 0. Simplify both of them. I am getting two values. One is x is equal to a and one is x is equal to minus a by 2. Now x is equal to a we cannot take. Why? Because the value of area was this. If I put x is equal to a here, this will make my area as 0. So I will reject x is equal to a. The only value I have is x is equal to minus a by 2. Now what do we do? Put this in your second order derivative. That means first differentiate this and put x is equal to minus a by 2 in this second order derivative. Now if you are going to do that, these are the calculation steps which you can solve easily by applying your product rule. This is what you are getting after opening your bracket. Now open all the terms and cancel out whatever you can. Simplify it. So after simplification, we'll just put x as minus a by 2. So if you will put x as minus a by 2, you can see the second order derivative sign is coming out to be negative, which means that your area is going to be maximum. Now in the question you have to find the value of maximum area as well. So maximum area will be, we had the value of area coming out to be b by a root of a square minus x square a minus x. So here we will just put x as minus a by 2 and we will simplify this equation. So just substitute x as a by 2 and simplify this. So you will get your answer.